Welcome, guys, to the Watch This podcast. This is the Shortlist episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about the end of Oak Street. So it'll be just a review today, and we'll have Camp Miasma review on next Tuesday. And yeah, so end of Oak Street. I saw this, what was it, a week ago, or I believe, yeah, a week ago, and I honestly had no clue what I was getting into. I didn't watch many of the trailers, and then I watched it and I was blown away from like the first minute. It
Yeah,
felt like a dream.
fair.
I was just like, whoa. Like the way that this is shot, like the
Mhm.
whimsical aspect of like the block party, and like the way that David Robert Mitchell is like kind of moving the camera and like where he's placing the camera and putting you in the perspective of the kids and all this stuff and creating this dramatic thing that feels like real was so insane to me. And then also it's one of those movies to me that feels like it's a very fantastical movie where it like kind of forces you to suspend belief,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like
a
you're
lot
like,
of
oh,
belief,
it doesn't
sure, yeah, I
like
mean,
it doesn't matter
yeah, it
if it's
kind of
logical.
which is so this is my thing where I'm kinda surprised that you love this movie in, like, a way because you're always more of, like, logic matters, and this movie is kinda the most, like, spit in the face of logic, kinda like, this, like, doesn't matter. Maybe that's the is that the reason you kind of can vibe with it is because, like, the movie so clearly is not interested in it, and so, like
Yeah, it feels like the entire like non-logical bit of it makes it feels like purposely like a metaphor, or like it's all about like a theme for the
sure,
story
sure,
of like
yeah,
going back in time, or
sure,
like this is it the core of the movie is about Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor's characters, and
yeah.
I feel like I immediately got that, and then so when it happens, it kind of feels like, oh, this is kind of perfect and kind of like what they need, and the progression there is really good. I mean, it's the same thing with like Disclosure Day. I feel like I'm kind of getting into this kind of thing of just suspending belief with like things that aren't logical at moments. You know how everyone's like they're shitting on both these movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Less so
but I
this
like it.
movie, actually. I think people are generally positive, I think, in the real world. Like, I think the cinema score was like a B, which is really good,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
like, I think we're in circles where we'll see a lot of more negativity just, being on the internet and stuff like that, but I think I mean, the score on Letterbox isn't below a 3, I'm pretty sure it's above a 3.
It's like a 3.1 right now.
Okay, yeah. Um, but the movie is really weird. It's a weird fucking movie. Like, it's a very weird movie, and so it's kind of almost nice that it's not getting so panned, Like,
Yeah.
I think watching it, I there's, just a lot of things that understandably would kinda make audiences, feel like something's off because it is very weird almost in that, like, the way that people kinda can't get behind Shyamalan movies or stuff like that where it feels weird. And
Yeah.
so, or like kind of like The Happening. I thought of that while watching this movie. I think 'cause, they have a lot of this movie's kind of a disaster movie. It almost feels like those parody disaster movies in, like, the way that people are dying. I think why I like this movie so much, and I think why it works so well is because it's like we're bringing back like this sincerity that is kind of lost and was prevalent in like the 80s, which this movie is like really kind of
Oh yeah. So 80s.
obviously trying to be like super 80s, produced by JJ Abrams, who I hate
I
a
saw that
lot.
after, and I saw that after, and I was about to be like, I might change my
I
score.
right, because it is so annoying a little bit of, like, JJ Abrams is so obsessed with the '80s that he can't fucking get over it, and it's so annoying,
Yeah.
or it's like he just
Yeah.
loves those fucking kids on bikes, and, like, he loves the
No.
fucking referencing Spielberg and E.T. and, like, all this, and this movie has so much of that, like, it's hard to deny, but what kind of saves it is, like, JJ Abrams is not directing this movie. It's
Yeah. He's
clearly
not.
directed by David Robert Mitchell, who is such a talented filmmaker,
Yeah,
who did, It Follows, which I'm not huge on It Follows. You just recently watched It Follows, right?
I just recently rewatched it, and it used to be at a 4.5.
Oh,
It was like one of
interesting.
my favorites, but I think on a rewatch, I was like, man, this is kind of a lame story. I didn't remember it being this lame, but I genuinely believe this. I think it's one of my favorite looking films I've ever seen. Like it's
Interesting.
one of those films that I watch and I'm like, I kind of want all of my movies to look like this. Like this is the style I like.
Mm.
I like the way that it feels. I like the way that he's shooting fall and like kind of tracking shots, and it just feels really out of place. But I think in this movie he's like going above and beyond. I still haven't seen Under the Silver
Okay,
Lake.
I was gonna ask you that. Yeah.
I was gonna see it before
Uh-huh.
this movie. I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it before the end of the month, but
I
yeah, I'm
love
super excited.
I love Under the Silver Lake. It's so good to me. But
Okay,
what's
I'm
it's
excited.
interesting is all three of them are so different. Like they're so
Yeah,
different, all of them. This one's such a crazy career turn because he's like, okay, I'm gonna do a summer blockbuster dinosaur movie, which is kind of like the coolest thing ever, you know.
yeah,
But kind of unexpected for him, who I always kind of thought of as like more of an like focused on like indie filmmaking kind of stuff. But it makes sense to see him go into like a this kind of blockbuster thing, right? Where he has
yeah.
these like really great sensibilities that, I really like his style, quite a bit. Um and I think, yeah, from those first kind of like the block party they have at the beginning, it's like
Oh
quickly like, oh wow, like there's some magic
yeah,
going on.
yeah. It feels so cool, and I was thinking after watching this, um, if this movie was made in the 80s, it would be a classic now.
Yeah,
Like, genuinely.
yeah,
Like, genuinely, this movie would be a classic now. And it's just and, like, I was hyper aware of that while watching this. Like, from the opening little block party thing, I was like, "Oh, this feels like Back to the Future almost to me." Like, the whole movie kinda has this, like, Back to the Future vibe to me. I know it's time travel. I'm not talking about the time travel aspect of it, but of like the feel of the movie and like the absurdity of like just suspending belief of like like Marty McFly going back in time and his mom falling in love with him, like just like those weird concepts.
yeah, sure.
And like this is another one of just like, oh, they're they're just back in prehistoric times
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, whatever. And I love the way that it progresses of like them finding out. I think it's like such a well done thing
yeah.
of like kind of making it feel like an isolation thing, and I knew like right did you know like I think in the trailers it's kind of obvious that they're going to be in prehistoric times, so then before they find out that there's even dinosaurs you're like, okay, they're going to find out, they're going to go outside, and it creates this cool banter with yourself of like thrilling. I found the movie kind of thrilling.
Yeah. No, I think there's some really well-directed action scenes. I knew there were dinosaurs. I didn't really get what the hell was going on, like, from the
Okay.
marketing and the trailers and all that, but I think I really like it, and I'm obviously, you inevitably compare it to Jurassic Park or, like, the Jurassic World, because what other fucking dinosaur movie is there? It's kinda this thing where it's like, the Jurassic Park happened, and it's like, we can't make any more because we can only do
Yeah.
that franchise because we have no ideas, but it's kind of um and so it seems like such a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I mean,
I
there's the
agree.
logic part of it that like just doesn't matter, but you can get hung up on that. But where the Jurassic movies are kind of like going to the dinosaurs habitat, and you're in that setting, and then this movie flips it as what if the dinosaurs is in like our habitat kind of, and like the survival from that aspect, like great.
Yeah.
Like that seems like, oh
It's
yeah, that's how we do it. And it's kind of weird that
yeah.
it's taken us this long, 40 years or
Yeah.
whatever, to be able to do that. And you mentioned Disclosure Day. I saw a tweet about how this was obviously we're big fans of Disclosure Day, but they said like Disclosure Day was made by like a billionaire, you know, in America, and this movie is made by someone who's been unemployed for 88 years in America, right? And I think there's something to that where um, I think like you know where Disclosure Day is maybe not as like that the threat or like the stuff going on in the world, right? If it's some if they're both like allegories for America or whatever. Disclosure Day being more distant from that, and then this movie kind of like, oh, like it it's on your street. I think there's something
Yeah.
really interesting about that. Um, that I think is really cool about just that flip of the fucking street being like that little time transport thing. And it's fun,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's it's I agree with you. I love the concept of it. I immediately was like, hell yeah, I like this. And it was actually to a point where I was thinking, I was like, how the hell are they gonna get out of this? Like I was
Right.
thinking, I can't
Like
think
Anne
of a plot
Hathaway's
line.
character.
Yeah, I was like, how are you? And then the bubble shows up. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like without the bubble, like before you find out about the bubble, you're like, they're actually stuck here forever and
Right.
they're gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And Anne Hathaway's talking about like we're gonna have to survive.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go out and survive. We're gonna have to get our shit on. And I was like, man, what is this movie gonna like end with them like dying old? Like I genuinely was like, this movie's gonna like
It could
flip to
have
100 years later
do
and
an
just
old
done some
thing,
shit like that.
some M. Night shit.
Yeah,
I think the bubble is so cool. And that's like a very I can see someone being really annoyed at that as something like so convenient. It has like and like it's almost fair. But I think like there's a level to this movie that is kind of video gamey. And
yeah,
when the bubble pops up, it's kind of like, it's like when you're playing a video game, you're gonna get out, or there's like a way to like solve the mission or whatever. And so when I was watching it, like that coming up again, I don't know, just me and them timing like the jump and all that at the end.
I think
Um,
I think the bubble. I had a really like semi-emotional reaction to the bubble because when the bubble's there, it kind of comes at this perfect time for the characters, and it comes when the kids aren't with them,
yeah,
and he's like, "You go, and I'll stay and get the kids."
right,
In that moment, I'm like, "This is just like a perfect setup for that moment." First of all, and second, it all like the bubble itself almost feels like it's handled by someone like that is not shown, like a god or like someone looking out for them. And to me, that's like really important. It goes away after he says that, like it just goes away, and it kind of feels like it's for them. Like this is for them to like it's destiny that they get through this bubble. It's destiny that I'm not going to spoil. We'll do that later, but like it's destiny that they get to this moment towards the end, and it kind of
hmm
feels like kind of perfect like that. Another thing too is like every single time they leave the house, my heart is beating. I'm just like, oh shit, like there's dinosaurs at every corner.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get the dumb thing of like the kid is so dumb for going after the dog. I mean, I was too. It's just kind of a roll your eyes moment, but
That's
I
a
don't
movie.
I don't
That's
soak on it too
movies. What do you?
I don't soak on it too long, and I like what happens out there, and it's like kind of eerie and all this stuff. And then there's moments when the chase scenes are shot so well, and each one is different, which is cool because there's a lot of like chase scenes with like dinosaurs, and each one feels like unique in its way. Like you have one where the camera's still, and you have the T-Rex creeping up behind them. You have another one where they're going through the yard, and you're tracking from the neighbor's car's perspective, like from a almost like a bird's eye view of what's going on with them, which is like so well done. Um, and there's moments where they'll be running, and in the foreground, you'll see another family running, like from another
Yeah,
dinosaur.
yeah.
And I'm like, I love that
I
shit because
love
then it's
that.
like, oh, you could follow any of these characters
Yeah.
and anybody in this
Well,
neighborhood,
like
and
every
it's
time it
so
goes outside, it's like you see a family just like die from this like different kind of dinosaur in like a funny way. It's like
yeah,
all very, that's
yeah,
what I mean kind of when I said like the kind of parody disaster movie or something, like when you kind of see them die in the background. There's
yeah,
stuff like always going on, and it not only does it make the situation maybe feel more real and kind of more like an imminent threat for them. It's just
yeah,
it's there's always something going on that's interesting and it's fun. I think that like the The claustrophobia of their kind of neighborhood is really cool, even though it's a pretty big chunk, but when you're kind of when you're with them, you feel so stuck. Like you feel like if you're gonna when you leave
Yeah.
your house, you're gonna get fucking eaten. There's even kind of
Yeah.
like a Truman Show reference kind of thing when I think Anne Hathaway's driving with them, they try to escape quickly and they realize like there's just a huge cliff and you're just kind of like trapped and you have to like stay in your house,
Yeah.
block
Lock doors.
block the
Yeah.
windows, board up everything. Um that's just I don't know, it makes the action I think is really fun because of that. Like you really kind of feel stuck with the dinosaurs.
And it kind of that kind of moment sets it up perfectly of them like kind of locking themselves in their house. Like Anne Hathaway's character has to be with her husband, and they're kind of falling out of love,
Hmm.
and they kind of have to band together in this moment, but they're still arguing. And then, man, when the fucking basement floods,
Yeah.
it's such a good it's such a good plot point to put in there. The they he puts in like all these little nuggets at the beginning that are really quick, like the bully and the next door neighbor girl, and
Yeah.
the book and the drinking, like all this stuff, and he
Yeah.
sets it up really quickly, and he's not forward about it, and then later on it kind of comes back. But the basement thing is so good because it's her reaction of being like, "Oh fuck," and then they're like, What's wrong?" He's like, "No, I just had something important down there." And then you can kind of just see the sadness in her eyes, and that's
Yeah.
like really impactful. And I'm like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
well, even
Like it's so
before
good.
like because the book is so interesting as like even Anne Hathaway as the mother having the book as a secret and Ewan McGregor having he lost his job. They both kind of have their secrets. And in her book she talks to the old woman neighbor and it's kind of like revealed that way that she wants to like leave or she didn't think had like a packed suitcase and all that and it does like split diopters on their conversation, and you just see her kind of like try to like hold it together as she's reading that very like personal thing and that's why she's hiding it from Ewan McGregor, and so the book kind of holds that importance and it's layers of importance and then
Yeah.
yeah, the flood and that's so sad, and then it's even revealed that he, like, knew about it and
You've
read it
read
even
it.
later. Yeah, it's
Dude,
crazy.
and now I have to say, they're both so good in this movie. Anne Hathaway is so insane, and Ewan's like, I
Ewan's
loved his
interesting.
performance.
I'm like, I don't know.
I like his performance a lot. Like, there's
I
something
like
about him
it.
that
It's
embodies what
weird.
they're going
It's, like,
for.
weird,
Really.
like,
Oh, it's weird.
it's weird. I like it. I was thinking, like, would I don't know if I would want someone else to be in the movie, but he almost feels a bit miscast or like something. I don't know. I wasn't like I was interested in him because it was kind of strange and it didn't like super bother me as much as like Anne Hathaway is just kind of like so great and she's giving it so much. Like she's fucking going so hard, like acting
Yeah.
her fucking heart out in this. Where I'm kind of like, could you have gotten another person on her level? Because just like I don't know if
Okay, but
Ewan's
here's what I'll say
matching
though.
that.
I don't I don't think it has to be matching. I think it's like he's like serving a different purpose. I think what he's really good at, which is different, whereas like Anne Hathaway has that like more straightforward, like you can tell she's like acting her ass off thing. Whereas Ewan's like kind of, how do I put it? He's kind of flipping on a dime a lot in this movie, which is really impressive. Like he'll go from this like goofy nature with the kids to like
Yeah.
being very serious and heartbroken with his wife, and then it kind of starts bleeding through with the kids, and he has this like really fatherly tone. And if you like watch till the end of the movie, it says dedicated to my dad who died. David Robert Mitchell made this movie for his father who recently passed, and it kind of feels like it's like Ewan is his dad. Like he kind of wrote that as a character for his dad, and I can feel like a great sympathy there, and like a great care, and like it kind of feels like it's written in the perspective of a son, like a dad in the perspective of the son, where it's like he's kind of glorified and he's like kind of cool, right? Like he's like, oh, he's gonna
Oh,
save the day, but
sure.
he's
But
not really that like strong and brave.
I
And
like
it's like
him. I was just like, I wonder if someone else was there, would it be a better movie a little bit? That
I don't know.
like
I
we're
feel you
like,
don't see Ewan very much anymore. It's
no,
like
I
nice
love
to
you,
see him.
and no, it is, and I'm like, I would take him over like a ton of people. I
Yeah,
was just thinking like, oh, like on Anne, because there's Anne Hathaway here, and I was just kind of thinking, I don't know, you know what I mean? Where I think, um, I don't know, it just would have been interesting to see like someone just like on Anne's fucking level, because she's
yeah,
just so fucking good. Like she's really like what really draws me in this movie is Anne
yeah. She's the
Hathaway.
heart of the film for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, I don't know. But I really like Ewan, and I'm happy with the movie, and I'm happy with him. I have some issues with the movie, but um I also think it's funny, like after the fucking old lady and her talking about the book, she's like, come to my backyard. And then she's like, look at this fucking weird tree thing. And she's like, oh, that's weird. Let me take a Polaroid of it. And then she like takes a picture of it and brings
Let
it
me
to the
check it out.
library. And she's like, hey, I can't find anything. You know what this is? She's like, oh, I know exactly what that is. That went extinct over 200 million years ago. It's a little bit like, I don't know. It's
And then
silly.
later, they're like, wait, things have been swapping. It's like they find it out really
Yeah.
late. It's like, oh, wait, that plant,
Yeah.
it
Right.
went here and then it went there. Um,
And the
yeah,
fucking, I mean, the neighbor. I love the neighbor. What do you think of the
I
neighbor?
love the name,
He's so
dude.
funny.
The thing he says at the end where he's uh,
Right.
like I didn't like them, but I like them now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she welcomed me, she
Well,
followed me, and
like
I
I
listened.
think he's kind of valid.
Yeah,
Like
I
he's
agree.
not crazy. Like if a dinosaur took a big shit in my lawn, I'd be fucking pissed. Like
Yeah,
I'd be like, yo, clean this, make your son clean this shit up. Although how like literally how would that kid fucking do that if he wanted to? But
yeah,
that is
yeah,
so, I love the big like poo on his lawn. Like that's so funny.
yeah.
This
It's
movie
like
is so
the
funny.
cow manure. They're like, what
Yeah,
the
he
heck
said it
is
was cow
that?
manure, but
Yeah, and then like once they're back in the times, he's on his roof and he's like, "Fuck
yeah,
you," and he's
yeah,
just
yeah.
shooting these
That is so
velociraptors, and then
cool. Like I love how it
there's
kind of has
two.
those little moments of like it's kind of like David Robert Mitchell like having fun, like, oh, like this is probably what would happen. He would probably just get eaten right now. Like we could keep using him as like the comedic relief or some sort of side character, but it's like this guy would be up on his roof fucking trying to shoot the pterodactyls and get eaten, you know?
Yeah.
Just so funny.
Okay. I do have to mention this. This is a huge spoiler, and this is my favorite part of the movie, which I loved. Um, he dies with like 30 minutes left of the film, and I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit, yes!" And my biggest thing is I love when movies do that because I think it's very bold of like killing your main character with that much time to go and very suddenly. And it kind of just like brushes past it for a minute. Like they sulk on it for
Well,
1 minute and then it's back to
kind of.
business.
I mean, yeah, they have that, they kind of like walk down the street.
But it's
They
like
like Anne Hathaway gets really mad, and then I think they're kind of like, yeah, yeah, you're right, but I think
they
they
have that
do it
walk down the street and
well.
then it's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it's bad.
They
I'm not saying it's bad.
because they're kind of like they don't just go on and like carry on. They're kind of like they kind of just go home and
We need to get out of this.
kind
They're
of,
like, we need to leave.
yeah, they go home, and then that fucking big snake dinosaur pulls
Oh
up
my
and
god.
it does that, which I love that sequence. I think that
That
sequence
shit's
is like
scary, bro.
some of the best, one of the best in the movie for sure.
That thing
Yeah,
is
it's
scary.
scary as fuck. When I first saw that thing earlier in the movie, I was like, dude, that thing's awesome, and it looks like nice. I thought it was friendly. It's not,
Oh, okay.
but it's
I
so
like
cool.
how the kid hits the bow, hits it with the bow, and then he
He's a
immediately
fucking
goes to the
terrible
moon.
archer, though.
Oh yeah, he that's the funniest shit ever. At every moment, it's just
Yeah,
like it's actually I love that part because
yeah,
it's realistic. This
yeah,
kid's not going to be a
yeah.
sniper like with the thing.
Bro, I
Um,
feel like I could hit that though. Like this kid's so
yeah, with
bad.
the
It's like
T-Rex
right there.
right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, the build up to that scene of is man, the way that he's shooting that shot of like them distracting the T-Rex in every
Yeah.
direction, it feels like very like family bonding together moment of like
Yeah.
I'm over here, right? And then over there, and then Anne Hathaway shoots it with the gun, and then they're running.
And Hathaway
And it's just
fucking
like,
stabs it like 30 times.
yeah,
She's stabbing it.
yeah.
It's intense.
Or but no, when they're kind of doing that T-Rex thing and they're trying to get it away from each other and they're
Oh
being
yeah.
friendly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
Uh
the T-Rex part in the street, you know, where they're
right.
like she
Yes.
shoots
The whole
and then
family's
Ewan
there,
McGregor's
yeah.
like this and then it's funny, she starts kicking her feet at the T-Rex's mouth, which I was like, "Bro, stop
Yeah.
flailing your leg." But it's in this moment, it's in this type of movie where you don't expect any of the main characters to die. You kind of expect them to have like plot armor, you know,
Yeah,
like maybe
right.
the girl
It's
dies. Maybe
yeah.
like I was thinking the girl that they picked up would be dead, you know, and something like this. And
Right.
even when Anne Hathaway's cornered in that porch, I'm like, she's gonna get out of this. Like, there's gonna be something, right? And she
Yeah.
does. And then Ewan McGregor just gets fucking killed. He
Yeah.
just gets his body eaten in half, and my whole theater was like, "Holy shit!" We were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like up on my seat. I was like, "I can't believe that they're brave enough to do this."
Yeah.
And I knew that they're gonna bring him back. I don't care about that, but I just like the actual moment of that happening is like so cool, and I love it. And like it's like if I wrote that script, I would be smiling my ass off of being like, they have
Yeah.
no clue Ewan's gonna die right now, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it gets brushed over, but everything else after kind of feels like a we need to get home for him, you know? Another funny scene is when they see those two dinosaurs having sex, and
Yeah.
that's like really funny.
It's so funny and it's so cool on multiple levels because I think like it's kind of awesome to be like, all right, we have this dinosaur movie. Let's make a joke about dinosaurs like fucking. Like that's funny, right? But then
Yeah,
like they have kind of the lines where it's like, we'll remember to take, pictures in the bad moments too, and like that kind of thing. And this like little, and it's played sincere. Like it's always sincere. That is like obviously dinosaur fucking is more like kind of tongue in cheek or whatever, but the moment is played kind of sincerely with them, and I think it works so well, and that's like a real like blockbuster movie gold kind of thing.
I also love how he poses. It's like such a
Yeah,
dad pose. It
right.
feels so real.
Yeah.
That's how your dad would pose with dinosaurs behind you. Yeah, what were your like major issues with it?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
what's
So
keeping
I think that
you loving it?
like so they have um so the heart of the movie, what really makes this movie great, really good, right, is the main couple, Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, as like the heart of the movie, right?
I know you're gonna
And
say.
uh what?
The kids? You're gonna say the kids?
No, no. I'm fine with the kids.
Oh,
I think yeah,
okay.
I don't care about that. I like the kids. I think the kids have like good moments as, the boy
Agree.
like they're both like annoying. Um oh yeah, like the boy is bad at archery, but that's real. And the girl's like the girl has really good moment like when she goes alone in her car, she's playing music in the car. That's such a great, small scale little moment. That's I love that stuff. Um so they have their relationship. Their issue is kind of that Anne Hathaway is more of maybe like a realist. And I think this is a really I really like this dynamic. I thought it was interesting, which like in this situation that she is very much like we're not getting out of here. You can't lie to the kids and tell them like we're not fucking like gonna get back. And Ewan McGregor's like we gotta is more of an optimist, right? He's more of a he wants to have hope, and he's trying to spread that to his kids. Um, and Hathaway's a little dumb like that. I don't get Anne Hathaway's perspective. It's a little bit like, what do you what do you just wanna what are you trying to do by saying, like, there's no hope at all, kinda? But,
Yeah.
that's not a criticism, I'm just saying that as, like, a funny like, as I'm watching the movie, I'm thinking, like, "What the hell is she doing?" Like, why is she such a, downer? Uh, So that there's an interesting dynamic there, and it's revealed kind of before this all goes down at the blog party that someone says you to you McGregor, like, you're a lucky man, all this. It's revealed they have issues, they're going through divorce, she wants to leave, all this stuff. Um, I think they're I my biggest criticism is that I don't think their conflicts are solved really in any way, because there's this big kind of bad thing happening, and they kind of form their they get close over this hardship, and there's that aspect of it, but, like, they have real fucking issues. Like, these people do not seem like they really like each other that much, and really kind of are, compatible or good communicators. They just lie to each other and only bring it up when they're about to die, and there's, like, all this stuff, and I just think that, like, that doesn't get solved at all, where I wish they kind of were able to go in a lot more with that, and, like, really kind of that would be a lot cooler if they kind of, like, get to the root, just because that is such, like, that's all the emotion in the movie to me, right? And,
Yeah.
even so, spoilers, we already spoiled a fuck ton, but so the end is crazy, and I kind of love it, but it doesn't work for my criticism as well, but I kind of love it as an idea because it's weird,
Yeah.
of we're gonna kill ourselves, all duplicate of ourselves, and steal the, like, real Ewan McGregor that didn't die, you know? But by doing that, it's this happy ending, but also, like, then, like, literally nothing solved because you haven't gone through, like, so then are they just gonna she's just gonna act like, "Oh, okay, I'm glad you're alive, like, that's all that matters." I don't know. It's just a little, like, I think the issues are more complicated in that way, where, it's kinda like they didn't solve anything in their relationship, but they have a happy ending kinda thing.
Okay, can I rebuttal?
Yeah,
I'm gonna rebuttal for something like, I don't think that's a bad take or anything. I think my biggest thing is what I kind of got from the beginning of, like, the whole divorce thing is that, like, it's kind of Anne Hathaway's idea, and she kinda wants to get the divorce, and like you said, she's more of a realist and he's more of an optimist, so I think he's always gonna be optimistic about the marriage, and she's kind of a Debbie Downer. And then I think his death is really important because it makes her realize how much she misses him, you know?
right.
Like, she looks at the images and she looks like how goofy he is and, all this stuff, and I got pretty emotional and, like, they do call his, like, pizza spot and his car kinda drives up. You can kinda see her face, like, kinda light up. It's, like, almost like falling in love again, of, like,
Yeah,
seeing this guy that in your mind has died, you know? And it's kinda like a childlike wonder of, like I love the way it's shot too, just, like, the night and just, like, the car
yeah,
and it's so
the
recognizable, and
clock.
it's kind of a quiet night. It's kind of a quiet night after, like, all that chaos, and they're kinda tired, and the kids are confused, and Anne Hathaway's, like, near tears, and they just, like, run up, and he's always felt, like, underappreciated because, like, from the beginning, because it's when they run to him as, like, "Dad," and they go and they all hug him, and he's, like, confused, and she kisses him, he's confused, right? He's like, "My wife doesn't do this." Like,
I mean, I
my
think
wife
that's a
would
little
never
bit
fuck with
putting
me.
all of it on, like, her, though. Like, he's
Sure,
wrong. Like, he's lying about he
sure.
lost a job, like, he's lying about all that stuff, and also, like, I mean, even so, like, even if it was all her fault or whatever, like, I think and I agree, that's what the movie does, and it's fine. I just think it's a very, like, surface level way of, like, fixing the because I think what's interesting about it is their real issues, right? Like, the real issues of their relationship, like, kind of, like, making it, like, their real issues, and it kinda doesn't solve or go into, like, the real issues and solve them. That's kinda my thing, where it's like, if it did that, this movie would be fucking, like, perfect, kind of, is, like, my thing, you know? Where, like, it maybe, like, does that. I just don't think it does that very, like, thinly, where, like, you know, because from that perspective, it's like a he like realize like once he died, and now it's like, oh, you realize you miss him, and it's and so you realize how important that is, and like while that's true, and it can work and it's serviceable, like I think on like the heart of the movie is their kind of like real issues. And that's also why when he died really quickly, I was shocked and that was fun, but I was kind of like, Wait a minute. That's kind of why I'm with this movie, and we didn't fully get where I wanted to go." Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's not a bad take. I actually like that take. But again, to me, it's suspending belief. Like the whole movie, I'm not really thinking about like their marriage really. Like I'm genuinely
The
thinking more
dinosaur.
about
I have a
the
question.
yeah,
What'd you think about the feathers?
the feathers.
Cam Walsh from the Real Talk podcast is pissed about this woke nonsense about dinosaurs with feathers now, because we've discovered that they, have like DNA to birds, and they probably were like feathered and not just like the reptilian scaly things. And so now in this, did you notice that? Like in this movie, they all have like feathers and stuff.
No, and I don't care.
I know. It's just like that's
Is
like
that
one of the biggest debates I see about this movie. I'm not kidding.
is that real? Is people really care about that shit? It's kind of crazy. It's just like it's a
Yeah.
fucking movie. When you watch the Avengers, you're not like, oh, humans can't fly. Fuck this. You know what I
You
mean? It's
know,
like
I think
why
people
why
just
does
want them to
the
be
logic
scaly because that's like
logic
Jurassic.
for others? It's so like why do some movies have to have logic and some don't? Like it's just like I think you
No,
can kind of
yeah.
feel it out when it's like a movie serious or not. You know, it's
Well,
like
there
if we're
is
doing like a
logic. Like this is logical.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, which is well, I mean, it's not, but you know, I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
they look cool.
the biggest gripe I hear of all the time
Yeah.
is like the kids acting sucks
Right.
and the
Yeah.
script's horrible and
Right.
the
It's
directing's
not the
weird,
best
like too many
script.
split diopters.
I don't think
I
it's the
don't
best script. I think it's pretty
I don't
good.
know. I mean, it's not the best script. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
like a flawed
I think it's
script,
very
but
yeah, I think I like the script. I like the context of it and I mean, I don't think the acting is like horrible or it's like hurting my ears and
yeah,
eyes, you
no,
know?
it's like fine. Like people are so weird about kid acting. It's like it's
Yeah.
whatever, bro.
And
I,
it's also like you have one thing that like kind of pissed me off, like one of my biggest things, and this is dumb, but it's when the kid when the young boy is out trying to find Starbuck, and the kid that he broke his arm's older brother finds him.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
fucking starts punching him.
Dude, that
I'm
is
like,
crazy.
I'm like, dude, do you not know where you are?
I
Like, how
know.
are you not scared? I'm
Also,
like, how are
there's
you not
bigger
scared
fish
where
to
you are?
fry.
You think you hurt my brother? Like you think that first of all, like watch your back, bro. If I was out there, I would not let up. I would like be looking at every corner. I don't want some fucking slithering like little
Yeah, yeah.
thing crawling up
It's so
behind me.
funny
You
though.
know, it's like I'm gonna take the time to beat up this kid. And the younger
Yeah,
brother is smart. He's like, it doesn't matter, you know. Like, please get off
I
him.
know.
And then they leave. And they're like, we're gonna go. And he's just, it's like a shot of him laying out there like cold.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
The
god, he's gonna
fight
get
looks
killed.
bad. Like the fight is like
Yeah,
looks really
it's like
weird and doesn't look
yeah, it looks
very
like they're
good.
like doing faking the
I
punt
know.
like this.
Which is
That's
like
what it looks
not
like.
they're not. Yeah, which is weird. I love the moments like that where it's like even with all this dinosaur stuff, like it does some very like small scale like we're just you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That makes
it's
it
also I
fun.
don't know if you noticed, but in like the last shot, you see that the older sister is dating the girl that they picked up, like the neighbor girl.
Oh, really? Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I knew that. Yeah, yeah. Did it say their date? I mean, it's
they're
very
holding hands, and it's
quickly.
2 years later.
Oh, okay. I mean, as soon the first scene where like she's bandaging up, it's kind of like I actually really like that because as soon as it's like the hot girl next door, you kind of assume like, oh, he's gonna like save her or something, and they're gonna have like a romance, like a young romance thing, is kind of like the trope of finding the
Yeah.
hot girl next door. That would be in the 80s, right? And then kind of when they do it subtly where she's bandaging up and they make eyes, and he's on the couch looking at them like, what the fuck?
Well,
You know?
the way that he's shooting it, it kinda makes you feel like, uh, it's kinda building up this boy's nerves, of, like, saying something or, like, talking to this pretty
Yeah. Oh
girl,
yeah.
and
He
he's kinda
wants
sitting
her
over
for
there,
sure.
and then you have those quick glances, and, like, I didn't catch it. Like, when I'm watching that scene, I'm not like, "Oh, they have a thing," I'm more focused on the boy being
Oh,
like,
interesting.
"All right, bro, come on, you could do it, like, this is the time, you're gonna die soon," like, "Be brave," and he kind of chickens out, and you're like, "Ah, whatever," and then that end scene, I'm like, "Oh, that's kinda cool." I kinda like
Oh.
how they're together.
I had a
Um,
different
it's
I
awesome.
completely was different, where I was like, um,
You got it.
right when they locked eyes was like, "Oh, they want each other bad." Like,
Mhm.
they're going, and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy."
Yeah, or yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
there's a
the
s
ending is thing because they like, Anne Hathaway writes the end of Oak Street novel. So it's
right.
kinda like she writes that instead
Yeah,
of
she
because
gets
she
her
loses
happy
her book.
ending.
So she instead of writing about her leaving her family, she writes about, like, a family adventure, um, or whatever, and
And her daughter comes
yeah,
in with a Cornell sweatshirt.
I'm like, "Oh, she went to" yeah, because she's rich
Ah.
now.
Right,
That's
yeah, that
that
is
was
kinda
funny. I
funny.
was like because at the beginning, she's like, "I could go to Cornell, but we don't have that much money," and then
Yeah.
her mom writes a book about dinosaur like, her story with dinosaurs, and now she can go to Cornell. It's just, like, great
And
for him.
like, she also killed a lot of or no, she didn't kill them, but, like, a lot of people died, you know what I mean? Or, like, she saved, like, a
I mean,
few of them, and, like,
she's
everyone
like,
else just died. And then, like,
kinda like, she just goes to the phone booth and it just shows her, and then it's like almost like a documentary style of like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I could hear it in her voice, so I left."
yeah,
If
I
my
guess
neighbor calls me, is like, "Get out of
I
town,"
know,
I'm
I'm
like,
surprised
"No."
everyone went. Like, it kinda would be funny if almost, like, the neighbor still died because he just didn't believe her, because he
Or
doesn't
just do,
fucking
like,
care.
a cutaway scene of, like, the same scene of him getting killed on the roof.
Yeah.
Like, at the
Yeah,
end,
right,
like, after
yeah.
credit, him
That'd be
dying
funny.
on the roof again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love the costumes in the movie. Like, Anne Hathaway's blue and, kind of it's all the 80s vibe, and he's carrying a baseball bat, she has a shotgun, and it's all very stylized, and, I mean, the grading on the movie is so strange. Um, I what are you bothered by the split diopters?
Hmm. I mean, there's one scene where it's, like, a
Yeah,
five-minute scene, and the entire scene is split
right.
diopters, and in that moment, I'm giving a filmmaker who I enjoy credit, and I'm giving him some leniency there. It's a lot different than Lee Cronin doing it, I feel, because I feel like in this moment, it has a purpose semi. And so during that scene, I'm kind of thinking of like, okay, why is he choosing to shoot this entire scene of split diopter? And he's being very there's some really good shots. There's some like a good over to the shoulder of the kid's curly hair to the father. And like almost every split diopter is different, like a different dynamic. It'll be like the father with the son with the daughter, and it's like doing a whole difference of shots of how they're doing it. But I mean, it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, like there can't be too much of a point here to do this. I think it's more interesting than just going boom, boom, boom for the whole 5 minutes. I mean, I don't hate it, I'm just kind of like chuckling to myself, and
Yeah.
especially like there's a kid maybe 4 years older than me with his girlfriend, and the first time the split after he goes, "Ooh," and I go, I start laughing.
He had to make sure
Um,
everyone knew. He knows.
yeah, he's like, he knew.
Yeah.
Man, he's just like, "That's a split diopter." Um, I think I actually heard someone behind me whisper. He was like, "That's a split diopter,"
That's so
and I'm
funny.
just like,
It's
"Okay,"
funny because
like,
it's happened like, probably before, and they didn't notice or something.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
but yeah, what do you think? It's way less annoying than The Mummy.
yeah, yeah. I think it's fun. Like that scene where they're like, yeah, they're all sitting on the floor, kind of talking about what's going on. I don't really like the dialogue in that when, like,
The religion thing
Mrs.
is
Carl
so funny.
Sagan is realized it's a wormhole, and they kind of do the
Oh yeah,
exposition there. Um,
that's really dumb. Yeah.
yeah, it's like whatever. And then, but like this, it's like fun. It's like silly. The uh, I think it works well in this movie because the aspect ratio is so wide, um, that I think it allows for some really dynamic images where, like, the split diopter isn't as, I don't know, because it's so wide, kind of the split diopter makes it, I don't know, it looks different. It looks kind of like it's more dynamic than like a typical one we see because of how stretched everything is. And it just makes it look, it has such a distinct visual style, in this
It also
movie.
feels very claustrophobic, like you were saying earlier. It's
Yeah.
like an extra added to that, kind of squeezing it, kind of layering like one person's face right here, right? Like it's also like it's not like straight down the middle every time, like a lot of movies. It's like the the son's face is at the very corner, right? And then you have a whole like staircase shot of the father. Um, there's actually a line of dialogue right before that scene that I love, and it's the kid trying out the radio. And then he's like, "Ah, there's nothing." And Ewan McGregor goes, "Well, thanks for trying, buddy." Like, I just love that because no shit, there's no radio. Like, they know that there's no radio, but like, it's like the father being very like he's like kind of being like
Hmm.
overly nice to his kid instead
Yeah.
of like being like, "Bro, you're dumb for even trying." It's like, "Thanks for trying, buddy." And it's like he's like kind of saying it half-assed, but like genuine. But
Yeah.
it's like subconsciously him being super nice to his kid. And it's almost like like when little kids get fixated on one thing, you know,
Hmm.
and it's like the world to them, and
Hmm.
to you as like a little bit of an older person, you're like, why, like that's dumb, but you kind of just like allow it. Like the kid kind of focusing for almost half that scene in the background on the radio, you know, and then him saying it's not working, like he did something kind of. It's like, I tried, but I did. And then the father kind of like making it possible for him to feel like he was being helpful
Hmm.
is, I think it shows great writing in that scene. And like I think that's why, in my opinion, Ewan's like the best written character. And I think like probably not best acted, right? But best
No,
written.
yeah, I'm just
I think
thinking about that.
because it feels like the most personal to David, right? Because
Sure.
like the movie does feel like an ode to his father, and I can just feel that where it's like Ewan feels like the most real to me. Like I see my father in him, like a lot of fathers, and like like the dynamic between kids and the father, like him secretly drinking and the arguing and him kind of smiling. Hey. Like after him arguing, he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
did you find the hammer? The hammer's in the basement." Like
Hmm.
he's like kind of that kind of duality is super fun to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But you haven't talked about the music. What do you think of the score? Because I think it's
I think it's good.
incredible. I was
Yeah, I
like
think it's good.
fully like it's kind of like nostalgic and um I don't know, it's kind of magical to me.
It's
Yeah.
really hard when you're comparing all these scores to Her Private Home because I mean,
Sure. I'm
it's just
not.
like so insane. And I also like I think it's a good score, but I think there's so many good scores this year,
Mm,
like I'm like looking like I like Disclosure Day's score. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
Sam and the Prisoner scores like
I think just because
Sam-
it's a blockbuster, right?
I yeah.
Like it's this kind
Yeah,
of
I like the
movie, and when you get this film, like real filmmaker doing like it has its like a very, original visual language and like a really cool score in a dinosaur blockbuster movie. That is the most rare thing ever, kind of where, um, and I really like the score.
And I think Michael Giacchino is kind of perfect because he does a lot of kids movies. I'm looking like he did
Yeah.
Ratatouille, Coco. and it kind of feels like that whimsical,
Yeah.
like like
Yeah, it's
Incredibles
very
and
kind of nostalgic. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yes, and he did Jurassic Worlds too, and Mission Impossible,
Oh, did he do
and
Jurassic World? That's really funny.
Speed Racer too.
Right, yeah.
I'm looking at this,
No,
and
I mean
he's did
he's like the busiest composer in Hollywood for sure. He
yeah,
does
like what
so
the
many
fuck?
fucking
He's got
scores.
a million movies.
Every like
Um,
Disney movie, they're like, oh, and Michael Giacchino's doing the score.
yeah. So and like even the Batman too, like bro,
Right.
they just crazy. I also love how short this movie is.
Yeah, it's very.
Let me tell
Apparently, it
you,
was gonna be like 2.5 hours, 3 hours long originally.
great editing then because they did it tight because I feel like if
Yeah.
this movie was 10, 15 minutes longer, I feel like it would drag.
No, yeah, I think it
Like
works as what it
I
is.
could only handle so much running around the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
I
Or
know,
if you're
yeah.
gonna go further, if you're going 2.5 hours, you better leave that little circle. You know, you better be going out into the
Right.
wilderness with
Right.
that.
That would be
You
cool.
know,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
sequel.
know. That would be interesting what's left on the cutting room floor. I mean, I love how many different kinds of dinosaurs there are in the movie, which is like
Oh yeah,
not realistic at
taking
all.
up
I
a lot.
think like that just wouldn't like I don't think like all those
All the
dinosaurs.
prey with the predators. Yeah, they're all in like the same spot, and then you have
Right.
like those turtle things. Yeah, like those turtle like omnivores, and you're just like, or herbivores. Sorry.
Yeah.
You have those like turtle herbivores, and you're just like, those would not be where the T Rexes are,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like everything's so compact. It's like I don't know.
Or the snake thing would not be there, or like the little baby, like Roadrunner type of ones
Yeah.
would not be there.
Right.
I
Right.
love that moment in the car. I like that moment in the car when
Yes.
the stampede comes and they're kind of looking at each other and holding each other.
Yeah.
I like that
It's
moment.
kind of like
I'm like,
the
okay,
moment like where you kind of like you like feel something. You're like, "Whoa." Like
yeah,
there's something there. Um yeah, that's a great moment for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's not getting the craziest reviews, but it's not getting shit on. I gave it a 4 star. Luke, you gave it a
3.5 star.
3.5 star. It's my third favorite of the year as of now. It's really close to Disclosure Day,
Yeah.
really, really close. But I decided on Disclosure Day because I think the ending is just way better. Like I feel more emotional with the ending. And this feels like more like a fun movie. It's not like a philosophical type beat type of thing. But go check in the theaters. I've told like the next day I told all of my like everyone I know to go see this
Yeah.
movie. You have to go see this movie, and they're like, "Oh, I had written it off. I thought the trailers were bad. It's gonna be like this." I'm like, "No, you have to go see it." So I have like 6 coworkers gonna go see it
Cool.
on Sunday because
Yeah.
of me. So hopefully you guys watching this will want to go see it. Uh, if you didn't get spoiled already.
Yeah, probably not best to watch this before you watch it, but
Yeah.
go see it again. Go I mean, like, I don't know. I'm hesitant to tell people to go watch it. I don't think people. I'm kind of just so surprised people like it generally. Honestly, but
I don't know. It kind of feels like that Blockbuster thing that I
it
think you can
does.
kind of tell what kind of people. It feels like this movie is huge, in
It
my opinion.
feels
Like
like
I
a
watched this movie.
movie of pre 2000s in a good way, and it's shot that way, and it's supposed to be that
Yeah,
way. But I don't think people like that now. Like people aren't used to that now. Where people, it's kind of the thing where people are watching something aesthetically different from what they're used to watching and being turned off from it. That's what I would
that's what I'm
expect.
saying. If this movie was made in the '80s, like people would love it. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
yeah,
all the context of when it's coming out. They're like come with these notions of what a 2026 movie should look like. You know, and you got these like really cool filmmakers
yeah. And you have Anne
doing what the hell
Hathaway.
they want. Yeah. It's like, oh my, like Anne Hathaway, what a year she's having. Like, what the hell?
Crazy. Crazy. So
4 movies
awesome.
already? And she has a fifth one coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh, bro.
I
How
love
can you be this good?
she's so good. Yeah.
And this is the best one, I think. Best acting performance from her this year. What do you think?
I like her and Mother Mary a little bit more, but very
Okay.
different movie. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so focused on her in a lot of ways that I love it. But I love, both of these Anne Hathaways, action Anne Hathaway and Mother Mary Anne Hathaway. It's it's
Yeah.
it's just a great year.
Now we're
I'm
getting horror Anne Hathaway in a month, so
Yeah,
I'm super excited.
exciting. All right, we are wrapping this up. But on Tuesday we're dropping Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
I can't.
Yeah, so check it out. Bye.